everyone, welcome back to Beekeeping with Natalie, or welcome to if you are new. It's one of those days where we start laughing and then we can't stop, but I'm going to try not to laugh. Anyways, it's been a pretty good day. We've just been doing a lot of feeding, and again, we do so much feeding videos, but everybody seems to like them. I'll watch a feeding video any day also, just because it's like super important. So it's one of my biggest tips for new beekeepers is to always make sure that you're feeding your bees. Don't just hope that they make it. Go ahead and give them something, especially this time for us. We're here in Missouri, northwest Missouri, and the weather has been just really weird. It usually is really cold this time of the year, or sometimes it's hot. You just never know. And right now it's pretty warm, but I think it's going to get cold here in the next week. And so because it's nice outside right now, I think it's about 60s, because that's what it is, we're going ahead and feeding them to prepare them for the next cold spell. Unfortunately, I don't know if that was the last snow. We might get some more, but we'll just have to see. So these girls look awesome, and I want to go through them today and I'm probably going to do these 4 and just going to check them to see what they're looking like. But last time we were here, which was probably a week or 2 ago, they looked really good, and we had 100% over here, which is really good. One of our other yards didn't do amazing, but I think we honestly took better care of our other yard, and they didn't do very well. But over here there was a couple points where we were like, I don't even know if we have bees over there anymore, because we just kind of forgot about them. But they made it through winter, and they all look really good. So we're gonna go ahead and feed them just so we can keep that 100% going. But yeah, I think there's 33 here, and I have no idea how it happened, but we ended up with 33. But like I said, also it's going to get cold again, so it could possibly take out a couple more. But I don't think it's going to get crazy cold, so it should be alright. Now, I think it was like 2 videos ago or something like that, I did Ziplocs, which is what I've got right here. So these are gallons, and then here's a quart. I had to do some quart Ziplocs because we ran out of gallon Ziplocs and we didn't want to go get some new ones. So that's just what we're using today. I wanted to do buckets on all of them, but we don't have enough buckets to do that today, so we're just going to have to do a few buckets, and then the rest is going to be Ziplocs. So I want to talk about bucket feeding though. We used to do in-hive feeding. We used to do the frame feeders a lot, and we still do them, but I prefer buckets, honestly. They're just a lot easier, and you can also prepare ahead of time. You can do all the buckets, fill them all up, and then take them to the yard. So that's really quick and easy. The frame feeders aren't bad. We just haven't done them, and it's not always a really good idea when it's super cold, because then they can usually get in there and they'll freeze. So anyways, we've got some mason jars here, mason jar lids that is in the hole of these, and you just have to pull them out. See if I can. There's a couple of them are really in there. Might not be able to actually. But I had somebody ask where we got these. They're just from an Amish store. We buy them in bulk. Well, that's fun. All right. See if I can get this hive full. Goodness. It's really in there. All right, moving on. These ones, I don't know who put these in. They're like all the way in there. I don't usually put them all the way down. Oh, there we go. So I am going to have to pull some of the Ziplocs off though, so we can just check to see what they're looking like in there. And I want to go through just maybe a couple of frames, because it is 60s and sunny, so it's like actually kind of hot today. So we can go through a few frames and they'll be perfectly fine. I mean, they're out flying. I meant to show, you might be able to see if you come down here, they are bringing in pollen. It's more of a bright yellow. Let's see if anyone wants to bring one in. I'm not seeing any. Well, they were. There was literally like 3 right there, and then once we started the video, they went away. Anyway, they are bringing in a little bit of pollen, so that's good. Our maples haven't popped just yet, but they're so close. I'm just waiting for that. So, I mean, you can see they're looking really good. There's a couple that we opened up that, I mean, there was just bees overflowing everywhere, so that looks really good. And they completely drained this. So it's just a Ziploc with a small slit in it right here. I believe it's just like about 2 to 1 right now. This is what we're feeding. I just give it a little smoke, and then I just peel it right off. A lot of people do it really slow, but let's see if I can do this without getting stung. Just pull it off. I just love it too. Anyway, let's just pull pull out maybe a frame or two. This one looks pretty tight though. Could be exciting. Oh no, it's alright. The propolis is bad all year round over here. I don't know why, but I checked some of them. They were pretty heavy actually still, and I still had a good bit of food up there. There's just a little bit of pollen in here right now. Let's go towards the middle. We already have some that are starting to lay, which is really exciting. We were a little bit excited to see that it was going to get cold, which means they'll stay inside a little bit longer just because there's so much stuff we have to get done still. If bee season starts like now, it's going to really suck, but it's also really exciting. Yeah, so she's laying it up in here. Maybe she's up here actually. Got a good bit of food. Looks like these eggs are fresh. She hasn't even laid on this side yet. So I don't see her on here, but yeah, she's laid all up in here, so that's really good. And let's check this other frame. She might be on this side. It's always exciting to see that because they usually stop. For us, I don't know when it is. It's always different every year. Okay, so we've got a small patch of brood. I'm just keeping my eye out for her. There she is. She's a little bit darker. So she's laying. That's exciting to see. I haven't seen a queen in like a month. So that's always cool. On this side, you can see just a little patch of brood right here. And then she's laid out here too, so that's great. That's exciting to see. I'm just gonna go ahead and put them back. And we're just gonna go ahead and give them some more feed just so they are good to go. We don't have to worry about them. But back to that pollen, it was like a really, I don't know if I said this, it was like a really bright yellowish. And usually our maple, if I'm right, is like a gray kind of. So I don't know, but I think the maples will be popping here really soon. Okay, so then all it is taking these buckets and flipping it upside down. You can see the syrup just drips out of there because there's little holes in this plug right here. So we'll just flip it over, and those ones are good to go. And then I'm going to do this one over here also. So let's just pull this ziplock off really quick. They'll usually be able to get to it, but I'm going to go ahead and pull it off. So I mean, there's just still a really good cluster of bees right here. There's been a few that I've opened that they really don't even have any bees in that top box. So, and I think pretty much all of them look this way. Some are even better, so that's really exciting to see here. Every year is just so different. And we got a pretty good winter this year too. Got a really good amount of snow. Got really cold too. So that's really it. Let me just flip this over. Sometimes those holes will get clogged with just a little bit of propolis. They haven't been doing it as bad as they were when we first got them. First got these buckets, but there's just these little holes right here, and they'll fill it with propolis. But if you just take like a small nail or a screw, or sometimes we've used a stapler, and you just a staple, and you just kind of bend it to where it's straight. That works good too. That's really it. So we're gonna go around and do this with some more Ziplocs. Ziplocs is pretty easy. You just put it right on top of the hive, especially when it's getting cold. Ziplocs are a really good idea just because you're putting it right over those bees, so the heat is keeping it nice and warm too. So that works great when it gets really cold out. So do these buckets, and once you lay it on top, you just put a really small slit in it with a razor, and that's pretty much it. So we're gonna do that today, and thanks for watching today's video. Follow along for bee adventures. Be here next time on Beekeeping with Natalie.